Hi, I'm Mike Grimaldi, Education Champion for the Florida Floodplain Managers Association. So what is floodplain management? Let's find out.
Floodplain management is trying to reduce flood losses in our built world.
Floodplains are as varied as the communities that we have. It's coastal, it's rivers, it's lakes, it's dry dirt that floods when the rains come. It's an empty channel that fills up. But it's also habitat, it's recreation.
Floodplains are expansive. They impact just about every facet of a community.
Most people, they don't think about flooding until, a hurricane comes through. So our job is to make sure that you have the best information that you can so that you can make a decision about where you live and the impacts and the risks associated with that.
The natural and beneficial functions of floodplains is extensive. They provide habitat for endangered species, flood protection by storing floodwaters during high rain events. They prevent erosion by capturing that floodwater so it doesn't just run off. They also recharge our aquifers. All of that water we end up drinking originally came out of our floodplains.
But how do we actually embrace the floodplain and make it part of our community landscape instead of trying to bury it and get rid of it?
We study it to understand how the water used to flow before we came in and did our development and impacted it. And then we try to mitigate those impacts by reserving appropriate places for that water to flow.
Floodplain management is still another component of your community resilience, keeping everybody safe in case the big one hits and we get flooded, that we don't sit there for months and months on end with water in our homes.
We have to be prepared, we have to take steps to respond to, recover from, and then ultimately mitigate against the impacts of floods.
It begins with making sure that people are aware of it, the outreach, and understand what the risks are in a floodplain.
It's important to understand that just because you may be in an area that is a lower risk doesn't mean you're at a no risk.
Your house could get flooded and only inches of water can translate into thousands of dollars of damage.
If we as floodplain managers are going to try to reduce the risk, one way to do it is with reducing the impact that new development has on the adjacent landowners.
You're purchasing a home, you're putting a large amount of money into this. This is maybe a once-in-a-lifetime investment. We are here as your best advocate to make sure that that building is constructed and is gonna be resilient during a flood. In the end, you're gonna get a product that you're gonna feel safe and secure in for as long as you stay in that home.
Homeowners insurance does not cover flood, which most people are shocked at.
Flood insurance is your first defense. When a disaster happens, you want to make sure you have flood insurance. So whether you live in a high-risk area or a low to moderate risk area, you want flood insurance. And it might not cover the entire damage, but it's the starting point, and hopefully you mitigate the structure so the damage doesn't happen again.
FEMA makes flood insurance available to the community when they guarantee that they will regulate development in the special flood hazard area.
Floodplain management changes with the tides and the wind because we're always trying to figure out a solution to a new problem.
Flood regulations, the building code, it's all changing how we do things. It's important. It is so critical.
From a simple aspect, it's the protection of life, health, safety, and it's being in tune with what those flood risks are.
Our roles and responsibilities in responding to those issues are to ensure that our citizens are aware and that our elected officials are keenly aware of what needs to be done to manage the floodplain.
As you can see, there are many aspects of floodplain management and what a certified floodplain manager does. If you have any questions about it, please contact us at the Florida Floodplain Managers Association. Thanks for watching.